Very good morning, students. All the second PG students are doing the research as a part of their curriculum. They are doing the project in the last semester. And the main objective of this lecture is to provide an overview of so what is the meaning of doing research and how to start the research and what is the methodology involved in research. So this is simply the so-called literature review and methodology. That is a research methodology. It's my duty to cover the overview and also cover most of the areas of the research methodology. What is literature review and all. First of all, we should know what is the meaning of research. Actually, the research is the systematic collection, analysis and interpretation of data to answer a certain question or solve a problem. Any question may be related to your field of interest and also your core field of study also. The research is a systematic collection and analysis. First of all, you have to collect the information, what are the things available in your topic, and analysis, in-depth analysis, and sort out all the collected data related to your aspect, and interpretation of data. Then how to do the interpretation, that is you can analyze and get the things done. That means from the data what you did it as a part of research, and what is the outcome, what is the output, what you are going to say to the community, and what you are going to deliver to the mankind. So that is called as interpretation of data. So this is so-called research. How to select the research area? For example, a person in the final semester of MSc and the post graduation of their area of research. How to select the research in their field? So the researchers can choose the field of research based on their speciality, based on their interest, based on their scientific background, experience, all these aspects. What is the meaning of speciality? The speciality means their core area of speciality. That means, for example, a student studying in biochemistry, they want to do the research in enzymology, means that is their core area of speciality. You can ask the question, what is the meaning of interest? What they are studying is speciality, and what is their core interest. For example, I like enzymology in biochemistry. I like bioprocess technology in biotechnology. I like medical microbiology in microbiology. This is my interest. That is the difference between the speciality and interest. The scientific background, that means the research is scientific background. For example, a person doing the MSc in biochemistry means they have to do only in their particular core domain. They should not deviate from that. It will not be applicable in all the areas. And finally, coming to the last one, that is experience. What they are working on and what is their core concept and what is their experience in the particular field. The research supervises speciality. That is another possibility. That means a student allocated to a particular guide. So what is their core area or core domain of their expertise? For example, a person guiding a PhD student or guiding a research student like postgraduate research. A person not involved or not expertised in all the area of the particular field of concern. A person can be an expert, can be expertised in a particular domain, a particular area of the research. For example, a person working in a department of biotechnology, he can be more concentrating on a particular topic, that is a domain of research, either in medical biotechnology or otherwise plant biotechnology, animal biotechnology, or any one. A person cannot be a master of all, because the research is not possible to do the maybe the justification in all the areas of the particular thing, because the research is more focused one, very precise one, and in-depth one. So the researchers, those who are doing the research, my advice is to obey the rules of the supervisor. Maybe if the supervisor and expertise in the particular field, if they are choosing in the particular field, means they will get lot of exposure and lot of experience and lot of knowledge sharing, and also knowing everything from the supervisor. So that is advantage. Actual need for research in this area. So that is a selection. Actual need. For example, a person working in a field of microbiology means he want to give the solution to the particular problem. Actual need. That means he want to give the solution for dye degradation. That means the main pollution in Tirupur and some of the areas, or oil contamination in some of the areas of the plantation, and also maybe to remove heavy metals, that is the bio bleaching and bio mining and all the aspects. And available resources. So that is the actual fact. That means what are the available resources in your host institute, what are the available resources in your laboratory, what are the available resources in front of you, you can choose. Okay, so that is the interest of the funding body. So these are all the ways you can select the research area. Coming to the steps of doing the scientific research, my advice to all the students, follow the brief outlook of the steps to be completed at the time of doing the research. So first thing is, you have to select an area. That means in your the core domain, just you can select a particular area. For example, I want to do it in medical microbiology, or otherwise bioprocess technology, or otherwise endocrinology, likewise. Next, and the person has to select a particular topic in consultation with the guide. So what is the area of interest, and what is the topic, relevant topic, that is a need of the hour, so that can be discussed with the guide and to be selected. And next topic is the crude research question. That means based on the topic, so they can raise a particular question as a crude one, not a precise or refined one. The crude research question. That means, for example, I want to do some antimicrobial activity of a plant. So that is a particular species. Okay, that is possible. The crude research question. That has to be verified by literature review. The literature review is nothing but what are the available data, okay, in the field of the scientific research. So we have a lot of databases, and from that we can raise a question and we will get the answer also. This literature review will give the answer, okay, that is answers found means already someone or some person, okay, in the world, they already completed the research. So that means, okay, no need of to carry forward, okay, this crude research question to the research. So that means we have to leave that question and we have to find some other alternative question, okay, for that. So the literature review can also give another option, okay, that is so this is no need to study, and so this will give the another option. That means there is no answer. So there is no answer in PubMed or otherwise any literature in the internet. So that means, so you have a lot of opportunity to go for this particular research, and so this is the possibility of ongoing research, and you can continue doing the research with the help of literature review. You can refine, and finally the refined research question. That means whether you are going to do antimicrobial activity or antibacterial activity. If antimicrobial activity is a topic, that is a crude research question. And if some of the articles are there, okay, for antifungal activity, you can choose antibacterial activity. If there is no answer for that, you can choose, okay, that one is your refined research question. That means there is no research possibility, okay, in the area of research, and you can choose that one as your refined research question. Then you can carry forward and do the analysis, do the in-depth analysis, okay, literature survey or literature review of the particular topic, and collect all the documentation related to your topic, the refined research question, and collect all the documents. Nowadays, okay, we have the databases like PubMed and all, so you can collect all the literature and collect the original document, okay, that is the PDF format. Just take a printout, okay, don't read the books, don't read the literature, okay, using the soft copy. So you have to take a printout for all the relevant documents, put in a file and highlight, okay, wherever needed, okay, maybe what are the important points of the particular document. I think, okay, in the PG second year level, in the even semester, my advice to all the students, at least you have to read a minimum one research article per day. That means you can read maximum of 60 to 70 articles. So during the complete project duration, it is more than enough. You may be getting a lot of knowledge what they did in the particular area, and you may have an outline of what you are going to do and what you are going to achieve, okay, in your research. Next one is, after doing complete literature review, and you have to write, you have to search for a research hypothesis and what is your goal and objectives. Refine your goal, refine your objectives. So in your thesis, so you have to say what are your objectives. For example, if you want to do antibacterial activity of a plant, that means what is the first step? Collection of plant samples, processing of plant samples, and a screening of antibacterial activity of the plant extracts. So the screening means, so which extract is providing the positive answer for your question. So that is objective. Okay. And next one is, if it is positive, that means if you are getting the antibacterial activity, what is the next step? Further, you have to refine the question. That means you have to go for the refinement of the particular crude extract to purified extract. That means you have to purify the crude extract to, okay, the different organic solvent fractions. So this will give a particular component fraction, maybe like alkaloids, flavonoids, like. And finally, with that, you have to do further research. So select the plant and go for organic solvent extraction, and the different solvents you can choose, starting from low polarity to high polarity. Then finally, the next one is antibacterial activity, how to identify. That means determination of MIC and MCC, that is the minimal inhibitory concentration and minimal acidyl concentration. So this is the next objective. And finally, so you are going to fulfill, maybe you are going to get all the results, and finally you are going to present it. So that is the results and discussion. So this is a way you can start the research, and you can design your experimental method by designing the study. That means the flowchart of what you are going to do. Next one is coming to the ethical issues or clearance. For example, you have to obey the rules and regulation of the college or the particular host institute. If you want to work with experimental animals, you have to get the ethical committee clearance or ethical committee approval, okay, to do with all the experimental animals. If there is no point of ethical issues or clearance, no issues. Just you can start population or sampling. Then you have to think about confounding and any biases there, and identify the problems. If there is no problem, just you can do the research tools. That means you can identify the research tools, and finally you can go for a pilot study. Okay, that means a preliminary study, and you can prepare a work plan, and from the work plan collect all the data and data management. That means you have to record all the data in your Google Drive, or otherwise in the notebooks. My advice to Google Drive, because that is permanent. And the data management leads to interpretation. You have to interpret your data and finally report in the form of either tabulation or graphing. So these are all the ways or the steps to do the scientific research. You already told, okay, you have to get the data, the collection of data to be managed properly. So we have a lot of tools and software tools are available, so you can get all the data. And the reporting is very, very important, how you are going to report. So we will discuss it later. And coming to the selection of research topics, the priority of the topic for research depends on the characteristics of the problem. That means the impact on health or available interventions and the proposed solutions and everything we can think of it. Especially the impact on health means the magnitude and seriousness, preventability and curability. All the facts can be focused, okay, in the point of impact on health. The characteristics of the proposed study, okay, maybe you have to think about the feasibility study, cost effectiveness and applicability of the results. You have to think about the feasibility. For example, you can think doing a lot of research, but you have to analyze it, whether it is possible from your side, whether it is feasible from your side. Second thing is cost effectiveness. We have a lot of hurdles regarding cost. That means we have to spend a lot of chemicals and glassware and miscellaneous items for doing the research work. The cost is very important because you have to purchase all the chemicals. If it is available in your lab, you can continue, or otherwise you have to think about the alternatives. The applicability of the results. What is the application of your result? If there is no application, there is no point of doing the research. So you have to think about that also. And the research question. Coming to the research question, a researcher must make sure that you should have a research question. First of all, the question is clear and very, very specific and more focused on your research field. It should reflect the objective of your study, that is objective of your title, and it has no answer by common sense. That means, okay, no one should maybe think about very simple finding of answer, okay, for your problem, research problem, without doing any experimentation part. It has no answer in the literature. Finding an answer to the question will solve, or at least help in solving the problem to be studied. Okay, you have to get an answer, to find an answer to the question, and that answer should not be there in the literature. Then only you can start moving to the research. So this is the picture of doing the literature survey. So nowadays, you no need to go to the library and all. So you have www, that is internet. So we have a lot of advantages, methods of collecting the literature review by sitting in front of your mobile phone or otherwise in the laptop. So coming to the literature review, so don't think literature means, okay, this is related to language or something. Okay, it is not like that. The literature means the data or otherwise relevant information related to your research work, and collection of literature is called as review. Reviewing, okay, that is the answer. A literature review surveys scientific articles, books, medical journals, dissertations, and other sources relevant to the particular issue, area of research or theory, providing a description, summary, and critical evaluation of your work. You have to collect all the information from scientific articles, journals, scientific magazines, medical journals, dissertations, or some PhD thesis also. Definition of a literature survey, that is a review, means a literature review surveys scholarly articles. What is scholarly articles means? Okay, there is the refined research work done by a scholar. That means scholarly articles, books, and other sources like dissertations, conference proceedings relevant to the particular issue, area of research or theory. And a literature review that should provide a short description and critical evaluation of work. Evaluation of work means, okay, maybe that will give a particular critical evaluation. That means it should provide the detailed outlook of the particular experimental part, critical to the topic. That means pertaining to the particular topic. It should offer an overview, an ultimate overview of significant literature published on a particular topic. So you should collect all the literature published as on date. The main purpose of literature review, literature review may constitute, okay, an essential chapter of a thesis or a dissertation, or maybe a self-contained review of writings on a subject. In either case, okay, the purpose is to make sure that they place each work in the context of its contribution to the understanding of the subject under review. That means the literature review, okay, that should place each work in the context of its contribution. That means understanding of the subject under review. It should describe the relationship of each work to the others under consideration. The next point is identify the new ways of interpretation, that is to interpret, and shed light on any gaps in, for example, any lacuna or something is missed by some other persons, the scientist community or otherwise scientific, maybe the society. So you have to find out the gap, and the gap in the previous research also can be found by the students. Resolve all the conflicts amongst seemingly contradictory, okay, that means the previous studies, okay, from the previous studies. Identify the areas of prior research to prevent duplication of the effort. Identify the areas of prior research to prevent duplication of the effort. For example, that means you should not do whatever the topic did by, okay, maybe the fellow colleagues or otherwise the scientists, okay, in the particular community. If they did it means, okay, you should not touch. Place one's original work in the context of existing literature. That means you have to accept it as a literature. Maybe it may be a thesis or dissertation also. So coming to the process of literature review, you have to first of all search and learn. So what is the thing is there, and write, and finally list out everything. You can do like this also. Search, list out, and completely learn the concept and what are things done, and write it in your notebook. This may be also possible. So coming to the how to write the literature review, the process of review development, you should formulate the problem by searching in the internet, refine the topic, and you have to do the analysis, complete analysis, and construct a review. That means collect all the data. So this construction of the review by research tips, okay, manually, or otherwise some of the tools are there, like a Referx or otherwise a note, manually, or all the tools are available, okay, in the present scenario. You can use any one of the tools. And the components of literature review, okay, that is the development of the literature review, requires 4 stages. That means problem formulation, literature search, data evaluation, and analysis and interpretation of the data. First of all, you should know the problem formulation, which topic or field is being examined, and what are its component issues. So you have to find the problem and the formulation of the problem aspects. That means which topic or field is being examined. That you have to be very clear. And second thing is the literature search, finding materials relevant to the subject being explored. Data evaluation, determining which literature makes significant contribution to the understanding of the topic. And finally, analysis and interpretation, discussing the findings, discussion, result and discussion. The discussion part has to be focused more by the researchers. Many of the students, they will do the research, they will find the research findings, they will produce the results either by tabulation or graph, but they don't know how to interpret, they don't know how to discuss. The self-analysis and reading completely what is the output of our study and what is the output of other study, you have to compare, and based on that you have to give the conclusion. Okay, what is the conclusion from your side? So that is required. So this is the model, the flowchart model, working on the how to work with literature. So working with literature, first of all, I already told the find it, the knowing the literature types, using available resources, and you should know the research skills also. Coming to the second parameter, that is managing it. That means reading efficiently, is not simply reading superficially. Reading efficiently and keeping track of all the references, that is the documentation of references, and writing relevant annotations. So that is also very important. If you find, okay, this protocol is very important for your literature, just you can highlight it and extract the text, okay, from the particular document and write it on your observation notebook or otherwise your account notebook. And you have to use, so whatever you collected it, that is choosing your research topic, developing your question, arguing with your rationale. That means so what are the things to be done and what are things should not be done, okay, from your side, and informing your work with the theory and designing method, all the things you have to use it. And finally, review it. That means understanding the review purpose, ensuring the adequate coverage of your review literature, and writing purposefully. That means how to write it effectively. Working on style and tone of research writing, that's very important. So this is a way we can work with the literature and find it, manage it, use it, and finally review it. So this is the formula to work with literature. Coming to the sources of literature, what are the sources available? So we have journal articles, mostly, okay, this one is applicable to the scientific literature. So these are good resources, especially for up-to-date information. They are frequently used in the literature reviews because they offer a relatively concise, up-to-date format for research. Depending on the publication, these materials may be referred materials. So journal articles are highly recommended to all the type of research, especially scientific research. So this will fill the gap. That means magazine or newspaper articles, books, journals, and internet web. All the parameters will cover your literature survey. And what are non-referred journals? That means it is referred journal means the journal articles. Non-referred journal means such as trade journals, magazines, or there is science magazine or New Scientist magazine. Okay, these are all the things, okay, that is not referred. Okay, that is non-referred journals. You can also refer non-referred journals, but you have to mention, okay, that one as a non-referred materials. Next one is the books. You can get the information from the books, but unfortunately all the books are not updated. The book may be purchased 10 years before or 20 years before. You should not follow the books what you purchased 10 years before, including 6 months before purchase of books. Maybe that is outdated. So we have to obey the rules, that is updated information regarding the collection of literature. That means the up-to-date information, literature collection, it's must. Sources of literature, that is conference proceedings. Next point. That means you can collect the information from the conference proceedings by the presentation of the different persons, that is the scientific researchers, to present their findings on the conferences. And government and corporate reports, yes, the governments may be appointed some maybe team to identify the problem in the community. That report may be the source of literature. And thesis and dissertations, The most of the PhD students, okay, they are doing the research, and that is a repository that can be deposited either in the university or the college, and the students can read the dissertations. They can find some of the gaps, and they can try to fill the gap. That is also possible. And finally, coming to the very vast thing, that is internet, the fastest growing source of information on the internet. And so you have to be very careful. So bear in mind that anyone can post information on the internet, so the quality may not be reliable. So that means you have to get the information on a reliable sources. My advice, okay, don't simply browse it by encyclopedia or otherwise Wikipedia, okay, and you have to obey the rules. That is, Google Scholar can be used to search the internet. That is a reliable source. So the access to the biological literature, the first thing is Google Scholar, because Google, okay, contributed much to the scientific research, and all the literatures collected or connected with the journal web pages are well connected, and you can get it. Next one is Medline search. That means the Medline web page is there, and you can collect the literature from Medline. And next one is PubMed, is very famous one. It is a free server available. PubMed Central is also related to PubMed, but PubMed Central will give the freely available downloadable PDF format of the full text article. And Stanford University Library SearchWorks, so that is also free of cost, including HiWirePress, that is also free of cost. You can download the literature from there. Lane Library and EndNote search is also possible. Coming to the Google Scholar, so the HTTP googlescholar.google.com, okay, this is a search engine, and you have to select the articles, and if you want to include the patents and the legal opinions or otherwise anything, okay, you want to specify the particular one. About the Google Scholar, you can get all the literature, and you can get the findings of the particular topic can be collected. Next one is this is a web page of PubMed, and this is the hub of scientific literature. You can collect all the data from this. I'll give the detailed introduction about the PubMed and how to download the documents also, the continuation of the next lecture. And this is produced by NCBI, okay, that is National Center for Biological Information, that is funded by USA government. PubMed is a part of entries the retrieval system of relevant biomolecular databases, protein database, carbohydrate database, nucleic acid database, and all. So this PubMed includes a Medline, okay, that is a premier NLM, okay, biomedical database of worldwide journal literature survey engine, and this is very commonly used for medicine, nursing, dentistry, and veterinary medicine, public health, and the preclinical sciences also. So the NLM, that is Medline, is fused with PubMed now. So it is the best one. And how to get the literature survey, okay, that means how to get the literature from PubMed. You can use Boolean operators, for example, or to combine different terms for the same concept. That is a plant name, antimicrobial or antifungal, or antibacterial or antifungal. So this plus all the answer, okay, maybe you'll get it. And for example, antibacterial and antifungal. Antibacterial but not streptococcus. So that is, you can exclude some of the components. So these are the things you can use in the search, and the keywords are very, very important, and you have to identify the keywords. Based on that you can identify, and this is the ultimate output of PubMed search, and from that you can click it. It will go to the particular page, and you can read the full article sometimes, or otherwise you have to go to PubMed Central, okay, to download the article. Okay, here you can choose the file, that is, you can download the file. That means file or collections order, citation manager, everything, you can download the file. Another thing is that is HiWirePress, and There's also a free online tool, okay, to get the literature, and so you can get a lot of input from Highwire. This is an example of Highwire Press, and you can get all the PDF documents also here. And how to save your references, how to save the data retrieved from the internet, Google Scholar, PubMed, or otherwise Highwire Press. So we are going to have a detailed session for this by one of our the PhD scholar of our department, and he will explain about the Mendeley. Mendeley is a famous tool, okay, the citation manager tool, okay, to store all the relevant documentation or relevant data of your literature survey, and this will be explained in detail very soon. And so this is the organization of the review. That means if you want to collect the literature, and what is that introduction part and the body of the literature review, that is the conclusion. You have to write all the aspects for each and every paper, scientific paper. So the citation management tools, I already told, okay, this will be discussed, okay, much more in detail. The managing the references, because if you have only 10 references, you can manage. If you have 20 or 30 or 100, okay, no problem. If you have 10,000 references, and from that you have to get the information, whether it is possible? No, it is not possible. We need a citation management tool like Mendeley, Referx, or EndNote. The Referx and EndNote are that's a paid versions of the softwares, and Mendeley is a very famous and also very easily accessible one. It is a free of cost citation management tool. So this is an example, that is Referx, and I already told this is a very famous one. It is maybe adopted by most of the scientific community, especially in developed countries. Second one is and collecting the literature with Referx. So this is not needed, okay, because we are not going to use the Referx. It is a paid one, and if you want, you can collect the literature, or otherwise you can have it, maybe make a note of it, how to do the literature survey, or otherwise the collection of citation management tool, and by using Referx. EndNote is also very effective, very strong, and very easy, okay, the citation management tool, but unfortunately it is not free, okay, it is not web based, it is a software actually, so that means you have to buy it. So this is the picture of, okay, this EndNote library. And other citation management tools are there. Zotero, that is a free Firefox extension, and Canotia, okay, that is open source aimed at scientists, and that is also useful. And Papers, that is also very famous one, but no, it is not free, it is a paid version. So with this I'll conclude my session. Okay, I hope I gave a broad outlook about what is research, and how to do the literature survey, and how to collect all the literature, and how to manage the citation using the citation management tools. Thank you so much.